So, Jiahe, Bloomberg reported yesterday that SMIC is shipping 7-nanometer chips despite U.S. sanctions. Some analysts even pointed out that U.S. sanctions stimulate China's domestic innovation. What are your views and comments on that?
That is very correct. I mean, the U.S. sanction could stimulate the domestic innovation. Currently, when we look at the Chinese chip-making industry, it is still having a pretty large gap when compared with peers in U.S. and Europe. But we have to know that China is an economy that has 1.4 billion population. That is even more than the combination of U.S., Western Europe, and Japan. Also, the Chinese per capita GDP is now around 13,000 US dollar. This means China is a very large market. When it demands something, it can either buy it or make it out. Maybe it would take a pretty long time, say years, for high-tech stuff, but finally anything can be made. So for the chips, it is the same thing. China can either buy it with a good price or make it out over a long period of time.
But China's semiconductor shares outperformed recently despite the U.S. CHIPS Act to counter China advanced in the U.S. Senate. So what's the outlook for China's semiconductor sector? Why are investors betting big on it?
Well, that is the exact reaction of the capital market, that investors believe a sanction is a positive news for China's semiconductor companies. With more sanction, local companies will get more investment, more subsidy, as well as more market share. I mean, it is really a very unwise thing to block the trade with China when we are talking about such a giant market. But when investors are looking at the semiconductor companies, I think there is one thing that we have to notice. The semiconductor industry is a so-called winner-takes-all industry. That means a winning company like the Intel can be really profitable, but the others can be thrown out of the market by the winner. So when we talk about selecting investment target here, we really have to make sure that the winning company is found.